am Karthik Rannan. I am the president of the Wall Street Club of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives while they try to navigate the world of finance. I am happy that we will be able to close this workshop successfully on a very good note.
Hi, I am Raghunendra Singh and I am the Technical Director of the Wall Street Club at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. It was a great amazing conducting this workshop with XLR. The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets, which was very helpful for the people who are interested in the field of finance, business or analytics in general. Thank you.
I attended a workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
The journey was great. Initially, I thought that I was not proficient enough in Excel, but later I came to know there was no prerequisites for it, and then I applied for it, and it was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
Good evening, myself Kavya Ganatra. I am from Computer Science Association. I was the POC for this ML workshop conducted by CSA and ACM in collaboration with XLR. The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it. Thank you.
My name is Tasneem. I'm the Senior Manager at 98 Percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time we would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 90th percentile. So today we were here for this IT bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that and that's what I felt. And I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best and it was a very great experience over here.
Hi, this is Patan, Technology Consulting Manager from 98th percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Miss Ambika, Miss Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Starting from entering into this cyber tower to exiting out of this tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 90th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot, and I experienced a lot of things today. So I'm really hope to be I placed in that company. I'm confident about that. Thank you.
Hello guys, good evening. I hope my voice is loud and clear. So my first question is that you want LMS get in now or after the session? Be like in the last 5 minutes or in the first 5 minutes? Now, last 5 minutes. Hey, what to do? Last 5 minutes. Okay. So I think lots of people are saying in last 5 minutes we'll go for the same and freshly with fresh mind. I hope all of you are done with your tea, coffee, you got just fresh and you are here for the session. Then we'll start with the session. And in the last 5 minutes, I will take the LMSKT, okay? So Vikas, you can take it forward. Thank you.
Yeah, but sure. Okay, guys. Am I audible to all of you guys? Yes or no? Cool. Yeah, great. So let me share my screen first of all. Is it visible to all of you guys? Okay, great. So guys, let's do yeah, it's visible, right? So let's spend a couple of minutes over, to do some hands-on over the data set. And then after that, we'll start with the NLP section. Okay. So this is something essential for those who doesn't know how to handle a data set and what are the different methods or functions are there. So I'll be covering some basic functions and methods how you can operate over the data set. All right. So these things will be required throughout the course. Okay. So let's start, guys. And before starting, all of these, like this code file as well as this data set is available over the LMS portal. So those who have access to LMS, they can download it, the file, like code file and the data set, and they can utilize it parallelly, right? Okay, so let's see, guys. Yesterday we saw the Python data structure part. Python data structure part. And what we are going to see today, basically, so how you can import a data set. If you have a data set in your local system, how you can import that data set into this Jupyter environment. And once you import the data set, so this is something called as importing the data set. And once you import your data set, how you can work on over that data set, right? So this is what we are going to see. Okay, guys. So in Python, guys, there are a lot of libraries or packages are there for different purpose, right? So within that, we have two packages or libraries called as Pandas or NumPy. So we have one library called as Pandas, and another is NumPy. Within these libraries, we have a multiple functions available or methods available for different tasks, right? Now, if I talk about the Pandas, so Pandas stands for the panel data analysis. The full form for Pandas is a panel data analysis. Right? So this is a library which is used to handle the data, to manipulate the data, and do some basic data analysis. So if you want to analyze your data set, if you want to do some modification to your data set, so those kind of things you can do with the help of Pandas. So within that, we have a number of methods available for different purpose. Apart from that, we have another library called as a NumPy. So NumPy stands for the numerical Python. Sorry. Numerical Python. So as its name suggests, so basically this is the library which we used for the some numerical calculations, right? So if you want to perform some kind of numerical operation, mathematical operation, basically, so for that we can use the NumPy. And within that NumPy, we have a different kind of mathematical functions, some statistical functions. You can also utilize those functions so NumPy is one of the way how you can access those functions or methods. Apart from that, there are other ways how you can use those methods, right? So let me first import these libraries. So guys, if you want to use any of the library in your Python, right? So first of all, you need to import that library. So doesn't matter what kind of library you want to use. First of all, you need to import that library. So how to import? So this is a syntax. Import name of your library, and then I'm importing Pandas as a PD. So as PD is nothing but this is something I'm providing a short name to this Pandas, right? Same like with NumPy. So I'm importing NumPy as a NP, so that in future, if I want to write the Pandas, so I will not write the Pandas, I will write the PD. So instead of writing the Pandas, I will only write the PD. So this is this is what we are calling as PD or as NP. So let me just run it. And let me also show you what are the functions available inside this Pandas. So if you want to check what are the different functions available inside any of the library. So we have a method called dir. That is nothing but the directory. And within this braces, you need to pass the name of your library. So let's say PD. So this is why I have called Pandas as a PD. So instead of writing the Pandas completely, I will only write the PD. Let's run it. See here, guys. So this is the, now can you guys tell me what kind of a data structure you are getting in the output? Just by looking the braces, what kind of a data structure it is? The output form? Anyone? Exactly, it's a list, right? So if you see, we are getting the list of methods available inside the pandas library. So we have a method called arrow dtype, categorical, data frame, flex, grouper. And if we just scroll it down, we have a number of methods available, right? So like is NA, is null, merge, not null, not NA. So likewise, or if you see read underscore CSV, read underscore Excel. So likewise, number of methods are available inside the pandas library. Okay. Yes, so it's a list. Now, if you guys want to import any of the data set, so most of the times we are dealing with the CSV file or Excel file, right? So if you want to import your data set, whether it is a CSV file or Excel file or any other format, so it may be a text format or JSON file or any other format, right? So we do this importing part with the help of pandas library, because within the pandas we have a functions as read underscore CSV, read underscore Excel, and there are a lot of formats are there. So this is the method which is used to import a data set, right? So let's see how we can import our data set. And let me just make this line of code as a comment. So if you put hash sign before any line of code, it will become a comment, right? Okay. So guys, we have a data set called as a retail underscore data. Retail underscore data. This is the name of the data set what we have, and it is an Excel file, right? So how to import a data set? Since it is an Excel file, that's why I'm using the function called as a read underscore Excel. This is the name of the function. Since this function is available inside the pandas library, so you need to first of all use pandas, which is a PD, and to get any of the method, we use the dot operator, right? I'm sure you guys recall from the last session. So PD dot read underscore Excel. This is the method name, what we are going to use. Now, if you see inside this method, what we have, so PD dot read underscore Excel, this is the method name, since we are importing the Excel file. Inside this method, we have a path of our file. So actually, in my desktop, I have a folder called as a XLR. Within that, I have another folder, Deep Learning and AI. Within that, I have another folder, Day 1. I have another folder within that part 2. And then we have a data set called retail underscore Excel. So you need to provide a complete path where your data set resides. And in the last, you should write the name of your data set dot the extension of your data set. So this XLSX is an extension for an Excel file. If you are importing a CSV file, the extension will be .csv, right? So like in this way, like you need to provide a path, complete path, and make sure whatever slash you guys are using, it should be a forward slash, right? The slash should be a forward slash. So this is the way how we are importing our data set, right? And once we are importing data set, whatever data is present inside this particular file, we are saving that data into a new variable called as a stores. Okay. So this is how we are importing a data set. If you are importing a CSV file, so you need to use the function called as a pd.read underscore CSV, and rest of the things will be same, except your extension. Okay. So if you see, let me just run it. Okay, so if you see what kind of a data this particular file contains, so here I have just display this variable stores, and this is the data what we have. All right. So these are the different columns present in my dataset. First one is a code, then store type, operating cost, total sales, total customers, like that. And these are the different records. So one row is a one record, right? One complete row will be one record. Okay. And can you guys tell me what is this number 0, 1, 2, 3 showing here? Anyone? Exactly, these are the indexes. So if you recall the concept of indexes from the last session, so there we have discussed Python stores the data in form of the index position, right? So Python allocate the index position for each and every record. And as I told you, one row is a one record for my data set. So for each and every row, we have an index position starting from 0. Okay, so index position 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Same indexing is available for the column also. Since here the column indexes are not written here, not shown, but that index is available at the backend. So that means for first variable or first column, the index position is 0. For the second column, the index position is 1. Third column, index position is 2. Fourth column, index position is 3, 4, 5, 6, and index position 7. So that means for columns, the indexing starts from 0 up to 7. In total, I have 8 variables. Right? Is that clear, guys? So up to this part, anyone facing any difficulty? Cool. Let me also check with YouTube, guys. Okay. Let me share my screen. So there is one question, guys. Explain the libraries again. So this in Python, we have a different libraries for different tasks, right? So library is nothing but, so let's say this is one of the library. So in that library, we have a different functions. So just like pandas is one of the library in Python, which stands for panel data analysis, right? Now, within this pandas library, as we saw, we have a different functions or methods available for different tasks. Right? So one of the method, we have something called as a read underscore Excel. Let me just show you once again. So you can see here, these are the different functions or methods available inside the pandas library. Okay. Now we can utilize these methods or functions as per the need from pandas. So likewise, pandas is one of the libraries. Likewise, we have a different libraries for different tasks. Let me also show you the NumPy. So dir of NP. See here, these are the functions available under the NumPy library. So like error log, or let's say, let me just call it false kind of thing is there, or raise, NaN. We have something called tester. And if you just scroll it down, we have a couple of other functions like argmax, maximum argument, minimum argument, store the argument, arrays, convert into arrays like that, bitwise and operator, bitwise not operator, or operator, XOR operator, like that. Right? So we have a different mathematical functions, or that those kind of things are there, like cumulative product, cumulative sum, calculate the degree, divide, difference, diagonal. So since it is a numerical Python library, so we have a statistical calculation like functions are available inside this particular library. So this is the role of the library. So within the library, we have a number of methods available, and according to need, we use these methods. Okay. I hope the library part is clear to you guys. Guys, the dataset and file is present over the LMS. If you have access of LMS, you can download it from there, right? Okay. Cool. So let's see what other operations we can do over this dataset. So guys, we have a method called as a info, which you can directly apply over your dataset, right? Why use dot for reading Excel file? This is what we have covered in yesterday's session. If you want to utilize any function, you have to use the dot operator. So we have a function called read underscore Excel, but where this function is present inside the pandas. So that's why it is written as pd.read underscore Excel. Okay. Now, apart from that, guys, over your data set, you can apply multiple functions or methods. So let's see. One of the methods we have something called as a info. So how to apply this method? So name of your data set or data frame df dot info, where df is the name of your data set. So here I have a data set as a stores and the method name is a info. How I can apply the info method? Using the dot operator. So stores dot info, right? And let's see the result. So the result of info method is basically, it will provide you some basic details about your data set. What are the basic details? So first of all, it will tell you in your data set, there are 34 records or entries are there with the index position 0 to 33, right? Apart from that, there are 8 columns are there, and these are the column names. For each and every column, we have the index position available here, right? And then it will also tell you out of 34 records, how many records are present for each and every variable. So you can see that except the code variable, for all other variables, 34 records are present out of 34. But for code, there are there are only 29 records are there sorry, out of 34, right? So out of 34, we have only 29 records are there in my code variable. That means what is the difference between 34 and 29? So that is nothing but the 5. That means 5 records are missing from this particular variable. So this is something we call as a missing values in my data set. Missing value, right? And if the value is missing in your data set, in Python, that value will be represented by NaN. Right? So whenever you find the NaN in your data set, that means that value is missing. So for code variable, we have a 5 missing values. And if you just scroll it down, so you can see here also we have a NaN. If you just scroll it down, here also we have a NaN, and these two are NaNs. That means these values are missing for this code variable. Okay. This is one thing. Apart from that, you can also get a list of your columns for your data set just by using a method called columns. So how to use this columns method? Name of your data set or data frame dot columns. So it will give you a list of your column names. Now, where this particular thing is usable. So let's suppose, guys, you are working with a data set where you have a 150 columns. Right? So let's say you have a column 1 x1, column 2 x2, column 3 x3, and so on up to column number 150. So if you're working with this this huge data set, so it is not possible to go and check each and every variable one by one. So what we do, we can get a list of variables, and from that list we can select a particular variable of interest. Right? Since in this case we have only 8 variables, so it is very easy to check each and every variable. But when you increase the data size or the dimension, then it will be it will be a very tedious task. So this is something we use in that particular case. All right. Now from this data set, if I want to select a particular variable, so we have a total 8 variables or 8 columns. Let's suppose I want to select a particular variable, let's say segment. I don't want other variables. I want only fetch this segment variable. So this is something we can do with 2 methods. So there are 2 approaches how you can select your feature or variable. So guys, when I say features or variables or columns, all are same. Right? So these columns are also called as the features or variables. Clear? So let's see, if I want to fetch a particular feature or column from my data set. So there are 2 methods. The first method is using the dot operator. Using dot operator. How you can use the dot operator? So name of your data set dot name of your feature. So feature name, let's say we want to fetch the segment. Segment. So this is the first way how you can fetch your column or feature. And the second method is basically using the square braces. So it's like name of your data set, square brackets, inside the quotes, name of your column. So let's say we have a name as a segment, this particular feature. So like these are the 2 ways how you can fetch a particular feature from your data set. Let's see how it works. So this is the first method, guys, using the dot operator. Name of your feature, which is the variable, which is the stores, dot name of your feature, which is a segment. And if you run it, so this is how it will give you this particular column called segment along with the index position. Right? You can also use the square brackets for the same. So like square brackets, inside the quotes, we have a segment. Okay. Both will work. Now, apart from that, guys, if I want to fetch more than one feature, if that is the case, in that case, dot operator will not work. Dot operator will be used only to fetch a particular feature at a time. If you want to fetch more than one feature at a time, then you have to use the square brackets. And how to use? So the syntax will be like name of your data set dot, dot operator will not work. You need to put a square brackets, and within that you need to pass a list of feature names. So let's say we have a column 1, we have a column 2, like that, C1, C2, C3, like that, right? So it's a list inside a list. So this is the way how you can fetch more than one feature from your data set. Okay, let's see. Let's see the syntax. So stores is the variable name. And since I'm fetching more than one feature, that is a segment and total sales. So I have to use the square brackets. And inside the square brackets, I need to pass a list of the features. And if you see the output, here you are getting the output as a segment and total sales. Is that clear, guys? Any doubt to understand these concepts, anyone? Let me check with YouTube guys also. Okay. So guys, I explained to this thing like this part like there also. So like this data set and the code file is available over the LMS portal. Those who have access of this LMS portal, they can download it and use this particular data set as well as the Python code. Right? Okay. So this is what we have like using the dot operator and square braces. Okay. Let's see a couple of more things. So apart from that, guys, we have two methods that is called as a head and tail method. Right? Head and tail method. What this method will do, they will provide, so if you're using the head method, so it will provide first couple of records just to see the, if you want to see the first couple of records, you can use the head method. That means if I use a head of 2, that means I will get first 2 records. If I use head of 5, so I will get first 5 records. So in that way, if you want to just have a look of your data set of first couple of records, that's something you can do with this head method. Same, we have something called as a tail method. So tail method will give you last couple of records. So if you do like tail of 10, that means you will get last 10 records for your data set. Right? So if I do like head of, let's say 3. So this is what we are getting, first 3 records for my data set. You can check the index position 0, 1, 2. If I say tail of 2, so I will get last 2 records for my data set. So I mean, in that way, you can have a look what kind of a data is present in your data set in your like at the starting as well as the at the end of your data set. Right? So that's why we have these two methods called as a head and tail. Then apart from that, guys, we have another very important method that is called as a shape. First of all, how you can use the shape method? So it's like df dot shape. And what this method will provide in the output? The output of a shape method, it will give you 2 things. the first thing is a number of rows in your data set, comma, number of columns in your data set. So you will get two things from the shape method. First one is a number of rows. Second one is a number of columns. Right? So in that way, we have a shape method. Let's see the outcome of the shape method. So if I just run this, so this is what we are getting the output 34 and 8. Right? And can you guys tell me which kind of a data structure this output is? Anyone? Right. So it's a tuple kind of a data structure. So this is the outcome of the shape method. What we are getting outcome? 34, comma 8. But how Python stores this particular outcome? So what Python will do? Python will provide the indexing to this particular outcome. How? The first record will be at index position 0. Second record will be at index position 1. Right? This is how like we saw the things in the tuple. So each and every element has the index position in Python. Same for this particular tuple outcome. So we have a two values, 34 and 8. The first value will be having the index position 0. Second value will be having the index position 1. Right? So if this index position is available, I can fetch either of these values from this tuple. Right? So for example, if I have a tuple T1 like this, 10 and 20. So by default, the first value is having the index position 0. Second value is having the index position 1. Now if we do like T1 of 0, so what I will get? The value which is at index position 0. That means the outcome will be 10. If I do T1 of 1, so I will get the value at index position 1. What is the value? That's a 20. So outcome will be 20. Just like that, if I do stores dot shape of 0, so what I will get? Whatever outcome it has for the shape method, it will get me the first value of the shape outcome. That is the 34. Right? And if I do like this, comma, shape of 1. If I run it, so you can see here I'm getting 34 and 8. So 34 from this particular outcome and 8 from this outcome. Right? Is that clear, guys? The shape operator. Okay, cool. So if this part is clear to you guys, let's look at another very important concept in Python when you are dealing with any kind of a data set. That is the concept of, so actually we have two operators. One is called as a loc, another one is a iloc. So one is a loc, another one is a iloc. Right? Actually, both of the operators are used to filter out the records. Both the operators loc and iloc are used to filter the records. Right? So shape, okay, so let me just repeat it for. Okay, so guys, shape is a method which will give you the what is the number of rows and columns present in your data set. Right? So you will get a tuple where the first value will tell you what is the number of rows are there in your data set. Second value will tell you what are the number of columns are there. So like the number of columns and number of rows, this is something you will get from the shape operator. And you can get these values individually. So if I do like shape of 1, stores dot shape of 1, that means I will get what are the total number of columns are there. So if I just run it, yeah, right? That is based upon the index position. Okay. So let's see, guys, what is this loc and iloc? So actually, as I told you, both are used to filter out the records from your data set, right? But there is a little difference between these two operators. Loc, if you're using the loc operator, then you need to provide the column name. You need to provide the column name to filter out the records. While in case of a iloc, you need to provide the index position, that is the integer location, right? This is the difference between loc and iloc. And how this like operator will work. So it's like name of your data frame dot whatever method you are using. Let's say you are using the loc, and then put a square brackets. Guys, please focus here. Then put a square brackets and then put a comma. Now, whatever thing you guys mentioned before the comma part, that means this particular part, that is something applicable over the rows. That is for the rows. Whatever thing you guys will mention here, that is something will applicable over the rows. And whatever you guys will mention after the comma, that is something will applicable for the columns. Right? This is for both loc and iloc. Let me just show you one example. Let's see this particular syntax. What we have is stores dot loc. Then we have a square brackets. We have a comma. Before the comma, we only have this column. After the comma, we have a store type. What does that mean? It means in the output, I only want store type column, but I need all the rows. That means all the records for store type column. In short, we are just fetching the store type variable. Right? Yeah. Guys, I repeated it multiple times. This code and data set is present over the LMS portal. Right? So if you have access to LMS portal, you can download it and use it. Okay. So like this is how this syntax will work. And why we are providing the column name? Because we are using the loc. So loc will operate with the column name. iloc will operate with the integer location, which is nothing but the index position. Okay. Let's see a couple of more examples. Let's see this one. Let me just remove this one. Okay. Let's see an example of the iloc. So what is written here? Stores dot iloc square brackets. We have a comma. Before the comma, we have a 0:5. After the comma, we have a 0:7. Now, can you guys tell me what is the meaning of 0:7? Like what this particular part is doing? Anyone? Exactly, Shobit. Yeah. So basically, it will provide you the column with the index position 0 up to 7 minus 1, that is 6. Right? So yesterday we saw how this colon operator works. So if you have a starting index 0 and index n, so it will provide all the records from starting to 0 up to n minus 1 index position. And get the rows from index position 0 to 5 minus 1, that is 4. Right? So first part is for the rows, second part is for the columns. So that's why if you see the result, here we are getting the first 5 rows starting with index position 0 up to 4. And we are getting the column with starting with index position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is 7 minus 1. Right? Exactly, Shobhan. Yeah. Is that clear, guys? Kritika, so basically, these are the different methods which you can use to filter out the records. Right? So these are some standard methods which you can find in the code. So it's very important to understand how these methods will work. Right? This is not the only way how you can get this particular outcome. There are also a couple of other ways, but yeah, this is some standard way how we use in the code. Okay, that's why we are reading this particular thing. Right? So this is what I'm sure you guys can understand this line of codes also. It is exactly same as what we have discussed. Yes, so basically the syntax is like, let me just repeat it once again. So for both iloc and loc, put a square brackets, I mean, name of your data frame, df, dot, loc or iloc. Doesn't matter whatever function you are using, the syntax will be same. Put a square brackets and then put a comma. Whatever thing you guys will mention before the comma, that is applicable for rows. And whatever thing present after the comma, that is something applicable over the columns. Right? But the difference between loc and iloc is basically, for loc, we use the column name like this. If you use the index position here for loc, you guys will get error. For iloc, we use the index position. That is the major difference. Okay. Yeah. So let me also check with YouTube, guys. Okay, cool. So let me share my screen. Okay. Let's see a couple of other examples, guys. So I will again come back to this loc operator, right? The actual use case of the loc operator, I will come back to this point in some time. But before that, let's see a few more things. So let's suppose, guys, we have this stores data set. Let me just print it. Stores dot, let's say, head of 2. So let's suppose, guys, this is what we have a stores data set. And these are features present for this particular data set. Now, if I want to change the name of any of these features, right? If I want to change the name of the features, that means if I want to rename these column names, that is also you can do with the help of something called as a rename method. So how this method will work? Name of your data frame dot rename is a method name, and then put a brackets. Within that, columns equals to, again put a curly brackets. Within that, provide the old column name and then colon, what is the new column name, comma. This is for column 1. Let's say you want to change the another column name. So second column name, what is the present column name and what is the new column name. So like that, you can change the name of your features, right? For example, let's say I want to change the column name of this particular variable code and operating cost. So instead of code, let's say I want the store underscore code. And for operating cost, let's say I want to rename it as a op underscore cost. So this is what you can do with the help of the rename method. So rename columns equals to, inside the curly brackets, the first variable which I want to rename is code, and what's the new name, store underscore code, comma. Second variable which I want to rename as, let's say, operating cost to op underscore cost. And let's run it. Now you can see, instead of code, I have a new feature name as a store underscore code. The value will be same. Value will not change. Only the column name will get changed. And the second column name I have renamed for the operating cost. So instead of operating cost, now I'm getting something called as a op cost. All right. So based upon the requirement, you can rename your features. All right. Okay. So this is one thing, guys. Let me also show you another important feature of this, how you handle the data set. Let's suppose, for example, this is what you are getting the output for this particular operation, right? And I want to export this data set into my local system. So initially we saw how I can import a data set into the Jupyter environment. Now let's see from the Jupyter environment how I can export any of the output to my local. This is something called as export the outcome or export the data set. Right? You can export any of the outcome into your local system as an Excel file or CSV file. Right? So how you can do that? So here I have written syntax. Okay. So if you see, guys, the output is stored in a stores one variable, right? So if you want to export this outcome, and by the way, this is a head of the stores, right? We have a couple of other rows. So if you want to export this particular outcome, so it's like name of your data set. So this, what is the name of this data set? Stores one. So stores one dot. If I want to export in an Excel file, so the method name is a to underscore Excel. And then here you need to provide the inside the quotes, what is the name, like the name for which this file will get saved with the extension. So I want to save this data set with the file name as a rename underscore output. You can provide any of the name according to your convenience. And then you need to provide the extension. Since it is an Excel file, so extension will be XLSX. And if you just run this particular line of code, a new Excel file with the name as rename underscore output will be created in a folder where you have this Python notebook. A new Excel file with this output will get created in the same folder where you have this Python notebook. Right? So this is also you can write. Similarly, you can also export it CSV file, just like this. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Are you guys getting how we are handling the data set? How we can apply multiple operations? What about rest of the guys? Please repeat stores.head. Okay. Yes, Apurva, I will be covering that part also. Kritika, it's up to you. You can rename only one variable or you can rename more than one variables also. Right? So I have showed you example how you can rename two variables at a time. So if you just want to rename more than one variable or only one variable, accordingly you can change the syntax. Right? Pranav, whatever file we have exported in an Excel file, right? So you'll get an Excel file there. Yes, I'm coming to that part. Don't worry. Okay. Yes, I'm explaining to you guys this part also, right? Okay. So there is one question like how data will link to Zipter. So Manas, we have exported a data set into the Zipter environment, right? That's why the data set is available over the Zipter. Yes, Sai, so it's up to you. You can export either in Excel or CSV format. Okay. Let me share my screen once again. Okay, so there are a couple of questions, guys. The first question is how this data is available in the Zipter. So if you see, guys, the second line of code only, we have imported this data set into this Zipter environment. And this data set is available into a variable called stores. Right? This is first thing. And someone was asking this info method. So guys, info method will provide you basic information about your data set. What is the basic information? What are the total number of columns are there? 8 columns. What are the total number of records are there? 34 records. Right? What is the index position starting with? 0 to 33. These are the 8 columns with the index position. Apart from that, you guys will be getting total, we have a 34 records. So out of 34, for each and every column, how many number of records will be present? Right? So if you see, except the code variable, for all other variables, out of 34, 34 records are present. But for code variable, only 29 records are there. That means the 5 records, the difference is 5. 5 records are missing for code variable. And the missing record will be represented as NaN in Python, right? So if you just see your data set, so here you can see in the code variable, this is the NAN. That means this particular record is missing. And if you just scroll it down, this is another record for a code variable which is missing. This is another record for code variable which is missing. These two are another records for code variable which are missing. So in total, 5 records are missing. Right? Okay. There was one other question was there. So what is a head and tail function? So guys, head and tail is nothing but using the head and tail method, you can get an idea of first couple of rows or records for your data set from the head method. If you are using the tail method, you will get last couple of records for your data set. Then how many records you want to see, that is something you need to specify within this brackets. And if you don't specify anything, that's it. So by default, it will print first 5 records for your data set in case of a head. In case of a tail, you guys will get last 5 records for your data set. Right? Okay. Cool. This is one thing. Okay. So I guess up to this point, everyone is clear, right? Okay, so those who are facing any issue to download the data set or Excel or the code file from the LMS, they can connect to Amar after the session, right? Okay. There is one question. If you, what happens if I provide the negative number in the head or tail? Okay, so let's check. So guys, there is a one question. Let me do it like here. Okay. So there is one question. If I provide a negative indexing here, so let's say here we have a number as a 2. If I provide the -2, by the way, this is not the indexing, right? So it is nothing but how many number of records you want. So if you provide the negative number here, that means it will exclude those values. So let's say if I provide -2, head of -2. So what it will do, it will exclude last 2 records, right? Since it is a minus, it will start from the last row and it will exclude last 2 records. So let me just run it. Yeah, you can see here. So it will show you the data set starting with the first row up to the index position 31. In total, we have an index up to 33. So it will exclude the last 2 rows and then it will print all other records. Right? Same thing you can try with the tail method. Okay. But generally, we never use the negative number in case of a head or tail, right? Anyways. So if you guys clear with this part, let me just show you another important aspect. So guys, this is what we have a stores data set, right? Now let's suppose, guys, here we have in total 8 variables. Now, if I want to create a new variable in this data set based upon some logic, logic can be anything. So let's say I want to create a new variable, let's say new column. And this new column will be, let's suppose, for example, it will be total number of establishments divided by total customers. So that means for each and every row, it will divide this number by this number. Whatever is the outcome that is present in this particular column. So that means based upon your existing columns, you can even create a new variable by applying a logic. For example, let me just show you. If I want to create a new variable as a sales per cust 11, so this is the name of my new variable. And what is the logic? The logic is a total sales divided by total customers. So this is what logic I want to provide to create a new variable. Let's say, let's see how we can create it. So the syntax is, guys, like this. Name of your data set, put a square brackets, inside the quotes, name of your new column. Whatever the new column you want to create, put the name here, and then equals to. Now provide the logic, by which logic you want to create the new variable. So let's say my logic is the total sales divided by total customers. So first of all, select your total sales variable. How you can select? Name of your data set dot the variable name, that is a total sales, divide by total customers. How you can select the total customers? Name of your data set dot total customer variable. Right? So this is the basic syntax how you can create a new variable in your data set. So this is what written here. So if you want to create a new variable by adding two columns, so this is one sample syntax is written here. And below that, above that, I have provided the actual syntax. So for this stores variable, I am creating a new variable called sales per cust 11 equals to, and this is the logic. What's the logic? Total sales divided by total customer. And whatever is the outcome that is being generated here. So if you see the outcome here, let me just run it. Yeah. So you can see, guys, up to this part, we have the old data set, whatever is the original data set that is present up to this part. Now in this output, we have another feature called the sales per cust 11, which is created by this logic. And whatever these values are there, these values are nothing but total number of establishments divided by total customers. Right? Whatever value you guys will get, that is present here. So this is how you can create new variable also. Okay. Guys, this head is nothing but, okay. So let me do it like that. See, guys, this is my data set stores, right? In total, I have 34 records. Now, if I want to just visualize first 2 records, only this part, or let's say first 5 records. So if I want to just, display first couple of records, for that we use the head method. Within this head method, you need to specify the number of records you want to see from your first record, right? Similarly, if I want to just see the last couple of records, I don't want to see these, like the first couple of records. I want to see, let's say, the last 2 records, only these 2 records. For that, we have something called as a tail method. So whatever number you provide in this tail method, it will give you last those many number of records, right? So let's say here I provided head of 3. So this is what I'm getting first 3 records for my data set. Okay. Yes, tail method is for the last. So if I do like this, instead of head, let's say I have a tail. So tail of 3 is nothing but I will get last 3 records, these 3 records. Right? So let me just run it. Yeah. So what I'm getting, the record with the index position 31, 32, and 33. These 3 records. So I mean, in that way, we have a head and tail method. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Yeah. Let me check with YouTube guys also. Okay. So there is one question, guys. The question is like head and tail method will provide you first couple of records or last couple of records. What if I want to get like the records which is in middle? Let's say only these records. This is what we have already explained with you, like using the loc or iloc method. Can't we provide the index position in the iloc and get those many number of records? Yes or no? So we can provide the index position here, right? For the rows, let's say 20 to 25. And you can select all the columns or whatever columns you want to get in the output. So with that, yes. Right. But generally, we don't do this kind of things for the middle of records. So this head and tail method we use just to see what kind of a data present in my data set. Right? Just to have a first look how the data looks like in my data set. Okay. Right. Now let's see, guys, let's come back to the loc operator again. And let's try to understand the couple of more things. What are these things basically? So as we explained you, like loc and iloc are used to filter out the records. So like, let me just show you this part again. So here you can see we have used loc and iloc to filter out the records based upon the index position. Right? So here I mainly showed you the iloc operator. Now let's understand the function like capability of the loc operator. So basically, guys, loc operator is used to filter out the records based upon some conditions. You can pass the condition, and based upon that, you can filter out the records. And whatever condition you are, mentioning in the loc operator, that condition will always be present on the row side. So loc method, square brackets, put a comma. After the comma, you need to specify what columns you need in the output. And before the comma, this is the place where we apply the condition. Based upon which condition, it will filter out the records. Right? So just see this particular line of code. What this line of code is doing? Name of my variable, which is a stores, dot loc, right? Square brackets, put a comma. After the comma, we are specifying the variables which I want in the output. Since these are more than one variable, that's why we are passing in the inside a list. So that means in the output, I need store type and operating cost. These two variables. And before the comma, I have specified condition. What is the condition? Get me only those records for store type and operating cost variable for which the store type is supermarket. So let me just walk you through this store type variable. So let me do it here. So guys, this is what we have a variable called store type. In this store type, we have a values like electronics, apparel, supermarket, right? So store type variable contains the values like either electronic or apparel or supermarket. So supermarket, supermarket, apparel, apparel, electronics, electronics, apparel, supermarket, supermarket, supermarket. So like that. So what we are doing here, using the iloc, we are getting only those records for store type and operating cost for which the store type is supermarket, right? So this is why condition. Now you can check in the output. This is what we are getting. We are getting only two columns, store type and operating cost. This is what we have mentioned in the column side. And what are the number of records we are getting? Like how we are getting these records? So we are getting only those records for which the store type is a supermarket. For that, we are getting the operating cost. Right? Let's see another example. See this one. What we are doing here, in the output, I want store type and operating cost, only these two columns. But what is the condition? The condition is I need only those records for which the operating cost is greater than 20. Right? So if you see the output, here I'm getting the store type and operating cost, two variables like this. And I'm getting only those records for which the operating cost is greater than 20. So if you see here, you won't get any of the records for which the operating cost is less than 20. So we are getting the records for which this condition is satisfied. Now let's change this condition. So let's say instead of 20, let's make it as a greater than 30. So let me run it. So this is what we are getting. We are getting only those records for which operating cost is greater than 30. And in the output, we are getting only two variables. One is a store type, another one is a operating cost. Right? This part is clear, guys? How we are filtering out the records? Okay, cool. So apart from that, guys, you can, even pass more than one condition by using and or operator. So here what we are doing, we are passing more than one condition. Like the first condition is operating cost is greater than 20. This operator is called as an AND operator. And the second condition is operating cost is less than 30. That means I need only those records for which the operating cost is in between 20 to 30. Right? And how many columns I need in the output? Store type and operating cost. This is what we are getting the result. Even you can also use the OR operator. Here also we have two conditions, but these two conditions are, combined by using OR operator. So this pipeline operator is called as a OR operator. OR operator, right? So we have two conditions. Store type is supermarket or store type is electronics. So if any one of the condition is satisfied, you will get the outcome, since it is an OR operator. In case of an AND operator, both the conditions will get satisfied, then only you will get the outcome. So it's like operating cost greater than 20 and operating cost is less than 30. So when both the condition will satisfied, then only you will get the outcome. That is the AND operator. While in case of an OR operator, if any one of them is satisfied, you will get the outcome. right? So this is what we have, a lock operator, to filter out the records based upon certain conditions. Any questions, guys? Anyone? Let me check with YouTube, guys. Okay, so there is one question. Okay, so guys, there is one question like this store type equals to this kind of a syntax. So this is nothing but, guys, what is my condition? My condition is I need only those records for which the store type is supermarket. How can apply this condition? So it's like, first of all, select the variable for which you want to apply the condition. So my variable is a store type, right? So how can I select? Stores dot store type. And then what is the condition? Store type is supermarket. So for that, guys, we use double equals to sign. This is the comparison operator. And here we'll specify supermarket. Supermarket. So what it will do? This double equals to is a comparison operator. It will check each and every value of the store type variable. And whenever it will find the value as a supermarket, it will return in the outcome. Right? So single equals to is an assignment operator. So if I write a equals to 10, that means this 10 value is assigned to variable a. If I write a equals to 10, that means it will compare the value of a with 10. So single equals to is an assignment operator. Double equals to is a comparison operator. So this is what we have, this syntax. Clear, guys? Okay, cool. Great. So this is one thing what we have. And then let me also show you one last part. Okay. So sometimes what happened, guys? In our data set, we have a duplicate records present. So sometimes in our data set, the duplicate records will be present. So in that case, first of all, we need to detect or identify the duplicate records. And if the duplicate records are there, then we need to remove those duplicate records, right? Because if the duplicate records will be there, then whatever analysis you will perform over the data set, that will be, the result will be wrong, right? So it's very important to remove the duplicate records. Now in Python, we have a method called as a duplicated. So this is the method used to find out the duplicate records if there is present in your data set. And how we are using this method? Using the lock operator. The lock operator is square brackets. We have a comma. Before the comma, we are applying the duplicated method over my data set. After the comma, I have mentioned nothing. That means I need all the columns for my data set. Right? And if you see, let me just run it. If you see here, guys, we are getting the two records which are duplicate records. Let's check. So for the first record, the index position is 32. Let's check in my data set. So this is the stores one. Okay. So it is showing this particular record with the index position 32 is a duplicate record. So if you see, guys, this particular row and the row with the index position 30, that means this particular row and this row, these two are same, right? So for each and every column, we have a same values: 31, 31, apparel, apparel, 15, 15, this number, 335, 335, 4, 4, same number, 7.5, 7.5, and even this number is also same. So that's why this method is showing that the row number 32 is the duplicate row. So that means we have a two rows with the same values, right? So we have a two rows with the same value. We cannot remove both of the rows. So whatever is the first record we are getting, that is something we will take it as a genuine record, and the next record which is having the same value, that will be treated as a duplicate record. So that's why row with the index position 32 is showing as a duplicate record. And then we are getting another record as a duplicate with the row number 33. So if you see the last row and the row with index position 31, these two are also same, right? The values are exactly same. So that means the first occurrence of this particular value, that means the first record is a genuine, and the second record will be a duplicate record. So that's why this method duplicated is showing these two records as the duplicate records. Okay. And once you have identified the duplicate records, just use the method as a drop underscore duplicates. Right? So name of your dataset dot drop underscore duplicates. So this method will drop the duplicate records for your dataset. Right? So once we have dropped the duplicate records, we are saving the new outcome in a variable called stores one. And for this new outcome, if I again check whether there is any duplicate records are present or not, you can see we are getting the empty dataset. No record is present as a duplicate after dropping the duplicates. Right? So, I mean, this is how you can detect the duplicate records for your dataset, and even you can drop those duplicate records from your dataset. Is that clear, guys? Any questions with this part? Okay, let me also check with YouTube, guys. Don't worry, guys. Attendance link will be there in a couple of minutes, right? So don't worry about it. Okay, so attendance link is there, guys. So don't worry, you can mark attendance. So any other questions, guys? Anyone? With the data handling part. So, I mean, this is how, guys, we have discussed. Let me just summarize it, what we have discussed in today's session. So first of all, we saw how to import a library in the Python. So this is a syntax: import the name of your library, and you can provide a short name for that library. Right? Then we saw how we can import a data set from our local system into this Zipter environment. That is a data import. Right? Make sure you guys are providing the correct path, and in the path there should be a forward slash. So these are the small things you guys need to take care. And let's say this is my data set which is imported successfully. You can get a basic information for your data set using the info method. It will provide you the number of rows and number of columns present. Sorry. Number of rows and number of columns present in your data set. Along with that, if there is any missing value present or not. That is something you can identify it. You can also get a list of your columns for your data set. You can even select a particular feature or column from your data set. Even more than one feature also you guys can select. Right? So if it is more than one, you need to use the square brackets, and inside that pass a list of variables. Okay. So there is no syntax from where you guys can get all the libraries kind of thing. So this is something whenever we need a particular method or functions, we can import that particular library. Okay. Then we saw what is a head and tail method. So by default, it will provide you first 5 or last 5 records. Even you can provide a number that how many records you want to see. Okay. Then we saw what is the shape method. It will provide you the number of rows and columns for your data set. Even you can get only number of rows or only number of columns just by using the index position. So the first number will be at index position 0. Second number will be at index position 1, and accordingly you can pass the index. Then we saw what is the difference between loc and iloc and how you can use it. So for loc, we always provide the column names. And loc both methods are used to filter out the records. So if you want to filter out the records based upon the index position, so we use the iloc like this, or like this, or like this. And if you want to filter out the records based upon certain conditions, there we use the loc operator. Right? Then we also saw what is a rename method. That means you can rename any of the feature name. Right? So if you want to rename only one variable, then you need to remove this part. Right? So here I have showed you how you can rename 2 variables at a time. Then we also saw how we can export any of the outcome from this Zipter environment into your local system, either in an Excel file or CSV file. So this Excel or CSV file will be, automatically will be added to a folder where you have this particular Python notebook. Right? Apart from that, we also saw how to create a new column. based upon certain logic. And whatever new column you will create, that will be present in the last, right? Okay. So this is what we have discussed regarding the log. So log method is used to filter out the records based upon conditions. So like this is the condition. This is the condition. You can even provide more than one condition joined either by AND or OR operator. So AND operator, in case of an AND operator, when both condition will satisfied, then only you will get the outcome. For OR operator, if any one of the condition will get satisfied, any one of the condition is satisfied, you guys will get the outcome, right? And in the last we saw how you can detect the duplicate records if there is any in your data set. And if the duplicate is present, how you can drop those duplicates. So this is what we have discussed in terms of the data handling, right? So guys, if you see here, whatever data we have taken to do these operations, that is the numerical data. That means whatever values are present, these are the numerical values. So this is something I have taken as a sample data just to show you how you can utilize different methods over this data set, right? But from tomorrow onwards, since we guys will be dealing with the NLP section, natural language processing, where we will only deal with the text data, right? So what is a text data? So like it's like let's say you guys bought some product from Amazon or Flipkart, and after using that product, let's say after a week, we write reviews or feedback. So that reviews or feedback is a text data, right? So that means how you can handle the text data and what are the different things are there. That is something we study in the NLP section. But all of these basics will be required to understand different parts there, right? So I'm sure this hands-on will helpful to you guys in a different perspective, right? These methods and all. So these things we guys will be using in upcoming sessions. Okay. So any questions for me, guys? Anyone? Attendance link is there, guys. Attendance link is there, right? Yeah. Guys, code is already present in the LMS portal, right? Code and dataset both are present in the LMS portal. You can get if you have access to LMS portal, you can directly download it and use it, right? So, any questions for me, guys? Muskan, you can ask your question to Amar. He'll be very happy to resolve this query, right? How to access the LMS portal. So in a short, Amar will provide a KT how you can navigate through the LMS portal, right? Okay, guys, if there is no question, over to Amar.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. What day 2? Sir, please repeat this. Day 2. Sir, please send the attendance once again. Okay. So I'm sharing the attendance link once again in the chat box. And I'm giving you 2 minutes of time to submit your attendance and to give the feedback. Okay. After that, I will start with the KT. So take your time, submit your attendance, and let me know once it's done. Then we'll start. Okay. Done. Okay. So those who are somebody's there asking me for can we leave. So you know what all these things about the LMS, then definitely you can. You two participant, are you there? Anyone, please send me day one attendance link if possible. So Subhadra, coming to the day one attendance link used to open between 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So sorry to say, but we are not able to share the yesterday's attendance. Okay. And today lots of participants are asking for the dataset. So I'm sharing my screen. So first thing, to get the LMS access, registration is the most important thing. So I hope all of you are done with the registration. If not, I am sharing the registration link once again. You can mark your registration and then only you will get the LMS access. Okay. Let me share the registration link and then I will start sharing my screen. So give me a couple of seconds. Guys, wait for a minute. I'm sharing the links. Yes, done. Guys, hold your questions. Once I'm done with the Getty, then I will take all of your questions. Okay. Let me confirm once my screen is visible. Click yes in the chat box. I want response from each and everybody. Yes, Akash, you can. Yes, okay. So guys, LMS is nothing but a learning management system, and the use of LMS to get the recording session, to access the material, to mark your attendance, and to get the assignment as well. Okay. So after your registration, you receive an two email from the XLR team. Okay. If you are a first time user, you receive an two email from XLR. And if you are a second time user, like before this, you attended any training program with the XLR, you receive an one email. Okay. So the first email is welcome to XLR and verify your account. In that, we mention the verification link. Okay. So here you have to click on this link and you need to set your password. Whatever password you want, you can set your birth date, your favorite number, your girlfriend, boyfriend, birth date, anything what you want. Okay. So set your password, confirm your password, and going forward, if you feel that I have to forward, definitely that option is also there. Okay. So once you are done setting your password, you have to open second email. Second email is welcome to NLP ChatGPT and prompt engineering classroom. So here we mention our LMS URL, onlinelearning.xla.com sign in. Okay. So once you click on that, it will take you through the next page and it's sign in page. Here we are able to see sign in, store, register, many more things. Okay. And see, our LMS URL is onlinelearning.xla.com. Every time, no need to go in the email, click on that. Just type it down onlinelearning.xla.com on any web browser, you will get this page. Bookmark anytime, you can access that. Okay. Now, as you are already done with your registration, no need to do a registration again and again. Simply click on sign in. Now, you have to mention your credentials here. Credentials means your email ID and your password. The email which you use at the time of registration. Okay. And the password which you set in the first email. Simply enter your credentials, click on login. Now I will reshare my screen and I will show you how actually it's work. So guys, I need one more confirmation once my LMS home is visible. And I just share my screen. Can I have a confirmation from 4 students? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I got a confirmation. Thank you. So focus here. Now, first, I will show you how to join the session. So there are 2 ways to join the session. If you are able to see right hand side, there is one today's session tab. Okay. In today's session tab, if you scroll a little bit down, 1 minute, let me refresh it once. So in today's session tab, here NLP, ChatGPT and prompt engineering day 2. If you click on join, it will take you through the Zoom. Now, there are some glitches, like you are not able to join via Zoom because of capacities reach of 1000. If there is any network issue at your end, if there is any technical glitch, no need to worry. We have second option and it's join via YouTube. If you scroll at upper side above the today's session tab, here is one banner, NLP, ChatGPT and prompt engineering. Click on that. It will take you through a YouTube live. Okay, so I will show you. So all the queries and question used to come here. Okay. So no need to worry. If you're on a Zoom or else if you're on YouTube, it will be a interactive. Okay. Now coming back on the dashboard, we'll see how to access the recordings. Now, what is our classroom name? NLP, ChatGPT and prompt engineering. So I will search for that in continue learning. Give me a couple of seconds. NLP, ChatGPT and prompt engineering. Now, on this classroom, you can click anywhere. Here, again, there are 2 tabs, curriculum and meet. And in the curriculum, there are 3 sub-tabs. Okay, feedback response, session recording, and material. So coming to the feedback response, anyway, I am sharing the attendance link on a daily basis in a Zoom and YouTube as well. But it's good asking again and again in the Zoom and YouTube. You have option to give your attendance via LMS as well. So click here. Here only you are able to see that form. You have to fill all the details and you have to submit. Now guys, you have to read whatever we are mentioned. Your valuable feedback, you guys are very wonderful session and here you are clicking on 1. At least read what were mentioned. How was the session was useful for you? If it's not useful, give a 1. If it's extremely useful, give a 5. If it's neutral, give a 3, like that. But you are like, session was very wonderful. I enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. And here is 1. Okay. So you have to read that, what you are feeling. Okay. Jokes apart, but take care while filling the form. Give same email each and every day. Don't try to use different emails every day because it's creating your lots of accounts. And why I'm saying that, if you create your account by 2-3 emails, then it will be complicated to generate your certificate. Your 60% attendance is not going to happen and you are not going to get the certificate. Okay. Now coming back below the feedback. Sorry guys. So below the feedback response tab, we have session recording. In that, see, day 1. So yesterday's recording is there.
Analytics in general.
Okay. So if you scroll, all complete recordings from first minute to last minute will be here. Below that, whatever currently running, the recording is here. Feedback day 1 to day 15. All recordings will be here with you for lifetime. And coming to the material, so below the session recording, we have material tab. Okay. So whatever the material trainer is going to use or trainer is using, you will get here. See, day 1. Now we are accessing or we're using some files. Download that. Okay. You will get that in your downloads. Open that. See. Here you are able to access that as well. Okay, done. Now, one more thing. Few of the participants are be like, sir, I already attended one program from the Excel, but for now, I'm not able to see this training program on my home tab. No need to worry. Go in a store. And in a store, you have to search for that particular classroom. NLP, ChatGPT, and prompt engineering. Where is that? See here, click on that banner and enroll now and proceed. Now it will give you one notification. Congrats, your order has been successfully placed. If you come back on home, if you refresh your dashboard once, that classroom will be with you. That's it. Okay, now I am open for your question. Let me know. What's your question? Guys, don't be a smart. Don't ask any other questions. Be like, I didn't get my Python certificate. Yesterday also, I informed that. Today, again, you are asking me the same question. Sir, I tried downloading the same way, but it did not work. It's working now, only I show that, right? So you can do one thing. You can try to use in another system. If you have attendance link, yes, I'm going to share the attendance link. Guys, see, there are lots of questions regarding to the Python programming and SQL certificate. So coming to that part, we are done with the program on last Friday, right? For certificate, it is to take a 7 to 8 working days, and today is Tuesday. So we are done with the 2 working days. So definitely you will get the certificate if your attendance is more than 60%. Okay. So no need to worry. And after 6-7 days, if you feel that, hey, I given my attendance and it's more than 60%. How I not received my certificates? No need to worry. We are there. Drop an email to EDL team. They will check your attendance and they will let you know. Okay. Clear? Sir, Excel take a exam after completing course will have a examination. It will be surprise test. Okay. And you no, I'm not going to reveal that. It is surprise test. No. 1 minute, I'm sharing the attendance link. Just give me 1 minute. You two participants, if you have query or question, let me know. Day 1 attendance link, can you please share? No, sorry, I am not able to share. Please let us know. What is your question, Ritika? Kritika? I just shown that. Bye, Sarya. Bye, Mona. Can we leave? Yes, if you don't have any query or question, you can leave the session and we'll meet you on tomorrow at same time. I hope all of you are enjoying the program. And for now, you don't have any problem with the LMS as well. Can you share the LMS procedure in a WhatsApp chat? Sarika, I just explained 2 times within the 2 days. Why it's required to share again and again? If it's not clear, drop an email, okay? Sir, CRT recruitment training started. Sir, I had posted an email also, but no response has been given yet. Sir, I searched in the store, it's not there. Then definitely it's not started. You will get notified. Don't worry, okay? Sir, how can I check how much attendance I have? You have to check on your own. Total number of sessions, how many number of sessions you attended, divide that, multiply by 100, simple formula. Sir, not able to download the material opening as a HTML file. LMS dashboard link, please. onlinelearning.xlr.com. Sir, day 2 material is not available. We'll upload that. How to link material with Jupyter Notebook? Shakif, you can ask this question on tomorrow's session. Sir, how to see my daily base attendance on LMS? You have to mark your attendance. Daily base means. Okay, sir, bye. Yes, guys, you don't have any query or question, you can leave for the day. Yesterday, by mistake, I used a different email for attendance, and today use the email which I logged in LMS portal. Will be affect my attendance? Yes, definitely it will affect. Yes, sir, this has credit point. Definitely, it's depend on your college. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Sir, we'll only get the certificate for this live session we attend, or we can get the certificate for previous session too. No, only live session. Live session attendance is mandatory to get the certificate. Can I have attendance and feedback link? Yes, why not? Here it is. Very nice session, sir. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Sorry to disturb, sir, but I have still not received the invitation link or mail or WhatsApp related LMS account. I registered both in Google Form and XLR website. Arunya, when you are done with your registration, thank you so much, sir. I'm really enjoy the course. Great. But sir, I use the same name and phone number in different email. No, email ID should be unique because it was not opening. Attendance link. Very nice session, sir. So Arunya from the YouTube, I think there is some problem with your account. So drop an email. We'll check on the same. Okay. A really excellent class, sir. Thank you so much. Guys, 1 minute. Sir, XLR is a very interesting student learning program. I very much like. Thank you so much. Sir, this will help in our internship. Yes. Sir, in this course, do we need to do a tasks? Task means coming to that. You have to submit one assessment. And after the training program, we'll share the assignment. Meet you tomorrow, sir. Thank you and good night. Yes, good night. How to explore the LMS portal. So I just explored 2 times, so you can explore now on your own. And I think if I'm not wrong, it's not that much difficult as compared to the Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Okay. So you guys know that how to upload a reel, how to edit that, right? So you have to just explore on your own once. Guys, don't take on mind, or else you are be like sir or saying like this. Please share the feedback link. It's interrupted in between. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. The voice is clear, but screen isn't clear, sir. Because Sanjana, I not shared the screen. That's why it's not clear. Sir, LMS portal, when we enroll it, ask some amount. Not at all, yeah. It's free of cost training program for all of you. There is no any amount you have to pay. Guys, we'll be there for 2 more minutes and then we'll wind up for the day. Link for the LMS portal Shashank onlinelearning.xlr.com. I'm not going to type it out. You given an internship? कहना क्या चाहते हो? Yes, we used to give the internship, but for that you have to enroll for 6 months training program with XLR. Where, sir? Please tell what to do. Where, sir? Please tell what to do. You only tell me what to do. What is your question? Yes, Sindhu, definitely. Whatever the material we are going to take in the class, we'll upload that over the LMS. I didn't get the certificate of data analytics. Kirti, when this data analytics training program is happened, can you please help me with the dates? If it's possible. Sir, after this we get the certificate. Yes, you will get the certificate, but for that 60% attendance is mandatory. Thanks a lot, sir. It had been a great session. Thank you so much. If we did not get the before course certificate, which email should we ask? XLR or EDL? EDL@xlr.com. Okay. Someone is saying, sending me the screenshot. Okay. So it's 0 only, na? Price is 0, na? Ramakrishna. Verification link sent, sir. You already received that. And we are not able to send it again and again, na? How to send it again and again? So I would like to know about your education background. Intel. There is someone, a founder of Intel in the Zoom chat. You're welcome. Sir, please can you say once more? Your voice got cut. Oh, so it's paid one. It will help in interviews, definitely. Send me the attendance sheet, sir. Yeah, definitely. BTech second year CSC. Oh, if you are computer science student from the BTech, you need to know that. You can go through the recordings once again. Day 1 and day 2, then you will get some little bit idea. But then too, I didn't get the certificate. So Kirti, it started on 20th November and ended on 1st December. So Kirti, it's FDP or SDP? I think we had word before this via email or else via WhatsApp, Kirti. Let me note down your name. Sir, please tell which job is best after BCA? BCA, Bachelor of Computer Applications, Programmer or Database Administration. You can go for a full stack developer as well. That will be a very good option for you. Okay, thank you, sir. Good night. Yeah, good night. Guys, I hope your questions are done. Yes, you can leave the session. I'm done. I'm just waiting for your question. Good night, sweet dreams, sir. Thank you. What is FDP and SDP? FDP is a faculty development program and SDP is a student development program.